Yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody texted, we were talking last hour about them bringing back a bird that's been extinct. Somebody said, aren't there 12 movies that warn us not to do this? Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't in the last Jurassic Park, didn't they all escape the park and now they're out just like roaming around? And
Yeah, they've claimed that island for themselves.
Right.
So that's why they're sending in Scarlett Johansson and a child.
Well, I think they need to have at least 2 pregnant ladies
That would help.
who are carrying infants.
Oh, that's
them.
right. That would help. Oh, my Lord. And by the way, if you're ever going to do anything like this, and we remind you, make sure if there's dinosaurs, you steal their eggs.
Yes.
Because, and if you same thing out in the road, you see a big bear and there's a cub, you grab that cub.
Hey, pick it right up.
Oh, God, people are so stupid. Stupid, I say. Trump out there today, 160 still missing. And that's what they think they know. That's in Kerr County. There's a few others missing in some other places. Dude, when you look at this, the damage, we joke about the nature thing. And our joke about nature, because people are idiots and you have to remind them not to pet that dog. This is not the same thing. I mean, this is nature doing whatever nature wanted to do. And the amount, seeing people's houses that, that house didn't used to live there. That house has moved.
Yeah.
That's how strong this was. I got it wrong the other day. It was 3 trillion gallons of water.
Goodness.
Trillions in a short period of time. And then there's the new controversy with the guy that seeds clouds. Him and his company. It's like him and 3 drones. They're like, you caused this? He's not a witch.
You don't know that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's not. He seeds clouds, and he goes, I seeded 2 clouds with 11 of these things, and they're about the size of Skittles. There was a little precipitation, and then those clouds dissipated, and then it was like a day or 2 later when everything hit. But they're like, you were the one doing it. So he's had to go on like all these shows to say, no, it's not me.
They call him the Rainmaker. Now he's blasting suggestions that his company may be linked to the catastrophic Texas floods.
Cloud seeding had nothing to do with the remnants of Tropical Storm Barry that caused flooding in Texas.
Augustus DeRico's company specializes in cloud seeding. That's when particles are released into the clouds to try to bring about rainfall during drought conditions. The company, named appropriately enough Rainmaker, conducted cloud seeding in Texas for a local nonprofit 2 days before the flooding. But they say they stopped all operations when the forecast called for stormy weather.
Stormy weather. And the amount of stuff that he would love to be able to do, the trillions, he's not able to do that. Is not quite capable of that yet. Oh, goodness me. You ever wonder how you get to this place? Like where the first thing that you think of is nefariousness was involved. He has to tell everybody, no, we don't do chemtrails. That's not us. We go up, we seed, and there's only certain kinds of clouds they seed. And it's been around since, I think, the 40s, the 30s or 40s, they've been doing this. So it's crazy, but people run into it. Like, that's it? Oh, you're the one who did it. And now you got to go out there every day for the next umpteen weeks and defend yourself. And I saw in Oklahoma today, Ken, they attacked one of these meteorology sites.
Really?
Yeah, the online threats. And you're like, why? Well, because they're mad. Did they think maybe they seeded the clouds?
I got to look that up.
Yeah, we are not a smart people, is what I'm trying to say. Jedday, we are not smart. Meanwhile, the big battle yesterday in California, in the Oxnard, Calabasas, by the way, beautiful. Like that area is gorgeous, stunning. But they got some of the marijuana farmers, had some folks there that weren't supposed to be there. And they came in and they took them. And then all hell broke loose. Listen to MSNBC, though. This is the perfect example of crazy.
To do highly skilled labor.
Marijuana? No, but highly backbreaking labor is a good way to describe what a lot of people do.
This is highly skilled labor. It is not easy what these ag workers do. Can we put back up the images we're watching out of Oxnard? Because I want to talk to the fact that you may see these folks in the field, and they are members of families, and we've not heard those stories yet. But every one of those people has either a kid or a loved one whose parent or aunt or uncle is not coming home tonight. So remember that first and foremost.
And that happens all the time with a lot of people. People this weekend will do something stupid. Maybe they're drunk in public, and they're going to get taken away, and that happens. But they're going to be separated, and all these things are going to happen. Yes, maybe that's true. And maybe they're not only going to be separated, but they're going to be sent back to wherever they came from, or Sudan, which is always apparently the third option. Seems to be the option that everybody's going for. Who knows? But they act like, oh, that's never happened before in the history of histories. No, it happens. And it's a shame. And it's a shame that people feel they need to come here because the country they come from, it's kind of a hot mess. And some of that, by the way, I'm going to raise our hands. Some of that's our fault. We have meddled in a lot of places, and things didn't really work out the way we thought, kind of like a science project. And we're like, oh. But that being said, you're here. You're in this country. At some point in time, when Trump was taken over, that there was always the possibility. And what has hurt the people the most is the Democrats' continuous, I'll do anything to stop anybody from taking anybody here. And they'll go out there, and even the worst, no, you can't touch them. And by doing that, you leave them no other option. I kept saying, if they would have participated, ICE, and I'm talking about not police catching people, any of that stuff. Hey, you guys have somebody who is wanted. There's a red notice for him, whatever it is. That makes it seem like they're probably some big assassin. But you know what I mean? And we've got him. We've got orders to remove. Can you hold him for us? We're going to pick him up. Okay. But instead, you're like, nope, we're going to do everything we can to protect groups of people, especially the bad ones who come in contact. And I've yet to meet a Democrat that isn't a Looney Tune that goes, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's keep the worst here. No, they want them gone, too. And guess what? So do the people that are here illegally, whose only crime is they came here illegally. And so do the people that have come here legally and the people that are born here. Nobody wants bad hombres there. But they have made it their point that they're going to do everything in their power to fight this injustice. And by doing all of these things, what ends up happening? Well, this is what collateral damage looks like. This is it. Mayor Karen Bass.
So the executive directive that I will be signing in a few minutes is to help the city family, to help the city workforce, to help the city departments and all of the general managers essentially develop preparedness plans that have specific protocols and that help city workers know how to address immigration officials should they approach a city department. So the executive...
She is, first of all, she's just a hot mess. But so you're spending millions of dollars to do all kinds of things to protect people when what you should have done is cooperate. And by cooperating, guess what happens? Will some people get caught out of it? Yes. Is it horrible? Yes, because you know what? If we're honest, there's a lot of people out there you're thinking, that's really not. The whole thing with immigration, the battle that has gone on, and Democrats, this is your fault. People got fed up to here. If you guys could see us on Rumble and Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, I point my hand to the sky. They were fed up to here with allowing the entire world to come here with zero worry of being stopped and turned around. And the numbers swelled, and then all of a sudden it became everybody's problem and not just the states that are by the borders problem. And instead of going, you know what, we got to clean this up, but yes, let's get rid of the worst first, you're doing everything in your power to protect the worst, protect them all, because you feel like if you're going to take the worst, you're going to take them all. And so now you're forced to do what? They're forced to go to places and do raids. One of the things I would love to see them do, but they won't, is if you're really serious about this, and it's not just a show and a battle between Newsom and Trump, which I think some of it is, why aren't you going after all the employers? Because you know why? Because they're calling you. They're calling the White House. They're frustrated too. Their workers are scared. And I know what I hear all the time. Oh, Americans will take that job, and it's only 1% of the workforce. No, I've got all the numbers. We'll break it down a little bit because it takes a little bit longer. But you've allowed this stuff to happen, and now you're reacting to it. And you're, oh my God, what are we going to do? We got to teach all the nurses now how to do this. And it's crazy. This shouldn't be hard. But here's the other part of this. It's too big to let go. The amount of money that they're raising, the amount of conversation and chatter is massive for their base and for their money raising, which is what matters. I mean, we've said it on this show on numerous occasions. They're still pissed about abortion because that was a great thing for them to all argue about. They could argue about it. They could raise money. They could say, I could fix it. They could say, I could protect it. And then it went to the states, and they're like, oh, all those federal fund dollars are gone now. If you think they're going to give that up here, you're wrong. So you've got these people doing everything in their power and then playing this is a sad, yes, it is sad. Because you know why? I'm not an a-hole. I'm a human being. And it's sad that your country sucks and that you've had to come here because they failed you and there is nothing for you there. It's sad about a lot of these. It's sad that you were allowed to come here and easily stay here for, in some cases, decades and nothing really happened. It's sad for a lot of this stuff. We should all be pissed off because and both sides have played the game. But you decided you were going to fight against this administration so hard rather than go, you know what, let's cooperate. Let's see what we can do to make sure that they only go after the worst first, and we can partner with them in that because we don't want them here, and you watch what happens. But instead, you decided, well, we're going to fight back. And the fight back is going to cost you.
Second, to this question of those same individuals as labor, we are talking about half of America's farm workers who are undocumented. That could be upwards of 3 million people. The reason that Brooke Rollins, as the Secretary of Ag, is between and betwixt is because on one hand, she has the agriculture industry, who she represents in the United States government, saying, ma'am, please understand, we are not going to be able to get people their fruits and their vegetables at the prices they are accustomed to if you deport 3 million people, half of our workforce. And at the same time, she works for a president who has promised to tackle the affordability crisis, who doesn't want to see the price of those fruits and those vegetables go up because he supposedly cares so much about the working class man and woman, but at the same time has made a promise to deport all these folks that runs in direct contrast to his original promise. So, of course she's confused because the needs of her base constituency and the needs of the president, who demands absolute fealty, are in direct competition.
I'm going to tell you this. She's wrong and in a lot of those things, because I think you'd be surprised about, well, the numbers, first of all, and Trump himself and how he feels about some of this stuff. Talk a bit about that. A lot of stuff still to get to today. Fun stuff, because we do fun stuff. The snack wrap is back. Talk about that coming up in a little while as well. That might be my go-to this weekend, the snack wrap from McDonald's. I didn't realize how long it was gone. It was gone a while. Man, I tell you, how dare you, McDonald's. Now, I know that you make beautiful French fries from the from the tears of angels. But, man, don't ever do that to us again. Coming up, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. If you're missing the show, shame on you. We got some breaking news potentially about Dan Bongino. Straight ahead, Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Shame. Shame.
All right, drivers, westbound 40, ramp to go westbound on the South Loop downtown. That's going to be closed until at least 3 o'clock this afternoon for a crash cleanup. Also in Smyrna, still cleaning up a crash, right 2 lanes blocked, 24 eastbound before Sam Ridley Parkway. And then left lane is blocked by a crash 65 northbound right before Rosa Parks Boulevard. And one of El Chapo's sons has entered a deal and pleaded guilty and agrees to work with the feds. We'll tell you about it at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I believe when Trump, everything he campaigned on, I believe he wanted to do. And now he's doing the exact opposite thing of every single thing.
I don't know what he's done. Yeah, exactly to your point. If you tell me, it's easier for me to believe you wanted to do all these things if any of them were happening in the way that you said they would.
To that point, like there'll be people that like they'll DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for.
Yeah.
I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending, reduce the budget. He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he's going to do, except sending immigrants back. And now he's even flip-flopped on that.
That's Andrew Schultz, who really pushed hard, and he didn't seem thrilled by it. And on top of that, we've talked a bit about the Epstein stuff. And the breakdown of the Epstein stuff is very interesting. A younger generation, so think older millennials, Gen X, but really older millennials all the way down to Gen Z. It's a huge issue for them. It's a huge issue for them. The older generation, they don't seem as bothered by it for whatever reason. I don't know. But they don't seem as bothered by it. But a younger generation, it is absolutely a huge thing. When I talk to my little brother who's 25 and his friends, man, this is a big deal. They're pissed. My mom and them like, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And so it's an odd thing. But that younger generation, especially the men, helped Trump in a major way. And they're not thrilled by this. Well, Dan Bongino apparently is telling everybody he's going to resign because of this. And CNN's put it up there, and a couple other places I've seen it as well, that he's seriously consider resigning. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's it's oddly enough, Dan, who I saw yesterday, Dan Mandis, was in the building when I was here.
Gave him a hug, right?
What?
Gave him a hug, right?
Gave him a hug. I sat in his lap. He's like, dude, you should really come sit in my lap. And I said, yeah, I'm coming. So, and he asked me, he's like, just tell me all your wishes and dreams and stare in my eyes when you do it and get in my personal space. So I said to him, he goes, if he had any shred of, and this was something that that there really was something there, he would resign immediately. But where do you go from there if you're him? Because I guess if you resigned immediately, you could save a little bit of face. The Kash Patel and the Bondi, there's no face saving. I don't blame them because it's not like they made this decision on their own. But that would say something. And I think Bongino I think he's miserable anyways. Every time I look at him, he looks miserable. He just looks like, I should have stayed in radio.
Now I remember why I left the Secret Service.
Yeah, no doubt. God, government's stupid, and I don't like them. So it'll be, if he did, that says something. But see, even if he did, though, while it says something, it's still like he's going to come out and tell everybody what was on there, if there was stuff. Was there a list? Wasn't there a list? Tara Palmieri, who is probably the foremost one of the experts in all of these things, she says, the list is not the list you think it is. Think more of it a black book than anything else. But there's going to be louder cries in the coming weeks about Maxwell and whether or not she was trafficking to nobody and why she's still in jail. So that'll be interesting. Coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about immigration, because that is obvious. That's a story that's not going away. That's a battle that is going to continue to happen. Talk a little bit more about that. A bunch of other stuff to get to as well. If you miss any of the show, we gotta say shame on you. Check out not only our podcast, but go look now. We're on Rumble. Do we look any different on Rumble? Do we know?
I think you look just as sexy as you do on YouTube.
Oh, is it in sepia?
Oh, I didn't think of doing that. That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. We should do us in sepia. That'd be very cool. Well, but we are on Rumble, and you can search it now, 997WTN.com.
Yeah, and just to be specific, no at. Just do 997WTN, all one word.
Yeah, one word. You don't have to put anything in the middle. You don't have to put a dash or anything. Just 99.7. This is the Chad Benson Show. Is there a high-speed chase going on? Somebody just texted in and said there's a high-speed chase on I-40.
Really?
Yeah, through Hermitage. What?
Let me check the cameras.
Oh, let's do it, man. Is it OJ? It's the ghost of OJ?
I-40 in Hermitage, they said?
Yeah. It's the ghost of OJ.
It's the ghost of Al Cowlings.
That's right. Is he dead too?
I think so. Didn't he die before OJ?
Man, he even lived. OJ even outlived him. That's crazy.
Anything there?
Which we're seeing here. Somebody said there was an I. So can we go be extras at this new Nashville 911? Is that a possibility?
I don't know.
Do they want us to be extras? We could totally do it. We could do it. Is Jennifer Love Hewitt in this one?
I don't know.
They bringing her Rob Lowe in for just like a
J. Love Hewitt.
Just like a one thing, like, hey, let me show you how to push the button. Let me tell you what not to do. Don't tell the fireman that you have to go and run it up the ladder to your supervisor to see if you can send out a code red alert with a giant flood. Somebody said, looks like there's one cop had the spike strips ready. What? So weird.
I-40 in Hermitage is what they're saying.
Well, it's probably now. Who knows how fast they're going, man?
Yeah, and where they're at.
They could have gone around the world. They could be coming through our neck of the woods anytime soon. Trump out there today in Texas. It's going to be interesting to see. Trump's not great at the empathy. He isn't. I was telling you, he's not the empathy chief. Trump's great at the doing stuff. He's a regular guy. And it's not that I don't think he has a heart. He just doesn't come across that way at times. But he gets stuff done. And I was reading today that the people in North Carolina are going, man, did you see how they're so much better than the Biden administration? Yeah, they are. And let's be real, but FEMA's got issues.
If Trump would really cared, he would have been there while it was flooding.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Totally. So but FEMA does have issues. And that's one of the things they're talking about is the maps that FEMA have. They're old. They don't have certain things in certain areas. I'm sure they're very old. They've probably, been around forever and a day. And they haven't changed anything.
Problem for Texas, but this is an issue nationwide. For instance, with Hurricane Helene and the aftermath in North Carolina, 95% of the homes were not in the FEMA flood zone and lacked flood insurance. Nationwide, FEMA maps do not take into account the impact of torrential rain and how that can cause inland flooding.
Because they said no matter what kind of map and thing they looked at, there was the amount of rain they got. They couldn't fathom the amount of rain they got, and also how bad it was already and how hard packed it was in limestone. So, but they just pointed out that even during North Carolina, and FEMA needs to update its stuff. And that's one of those things, because I know they're laying off people today, and you're already hearing, oh my God, the State Department's laying off people. So many jobs were duplicates. And are we saving a ton of money? No. If we got rid of the entire workforce, I think it's only like 4 or 5% of the budget. So, it's not like we're saving a ton. But doesn't mean you can't upgrade. Doesn't mean you can't use AI. Doesn't mean you can't push stuff forward with modern technology rather than, I put something on a floppy disk for you, which is what I feel they have some of that stuff in, which is crazy. Top speed 135. Have you found it yet?
No, dude, I'm off of that.
What are you on now? Something good?
El Chapo's son saying he's guilty.
Which one?
This is a video.
Okay.
A video, and the other brother, prosecutors say, started running a part of Sinaloa after their dad, was extradited here and sentenced to life.
Yeah.
They say these two were responsible for a lot of fentanyl coming into the United States.
I don't know which brother. I think it was El Chapo's kid. Do you remember when they arrested him? And was it Acapulco?
Yeah.
And then like an army of his people came and they had to give him up. The police had to turn him over to his people.
Yeah.
Because he had that kind of power. I mean, that's the kind of power of those people. That is a different world. When you have an armed forces that is stronger than the police and some of the military. Woo! So it looks like he and Dad are going to be friends again. There you go. Have fun with that one, kids.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. So immigration, we're talking about it, as we should. Trump is testing something. There's no doubt. One of the things, Trump looks and sees what's going on out there. But he also talks to people. He is great at getting a feel of what's happening, taking the temperature of the room. I think he missed completely with the Epstein thing, and I think that is not something he's thrilled by at this moment in time because it's become a big, giant pain in his ass, as you would expect. But, the polls, you hear this, like Batian Sagar, who was, Eric Bolling was on with her and Mark Halperin talking about immigration. And Eric Bolling was saying, look, this is where probably most of America is.
I think the country is probably far more, let's call it libertarian. Mark, at Fox, I once put out an idea, and it got a lot of steam on Capitol Hill. The 12 or 15 or 20 million illegals who are here already, we should offer them not a pathway to citizenship, but an asylum where they can stay. They're not going to become citizens unless
sort of legal status.
Some sort of legal status. We're not going to get deported, but they can continue to work in these jobs. And you could easily implement this at the driver's bureaus in every single state. You're illegal. You want to turn yourself in. Here, I'm legal. Here's my paperwork. I know I'm not going to become a citizen and vote right away, but I'm going to pay taxes, and I don't have to worry about being deported anymore. I think that's where most Americans are.
And he goes and says that. And do I think most Americans are there? I think a lot more Americans are there than I think people realize. I think there are a lot of people that we should deport people. Maybe not everybody. No, we shouldn't. That's the battle that goes on because it's like the making of the hot dog, right? Like everybody likes a hot dog. Nobody, they want to see how it's made.
Yeah, it's like it's gross when you see it being made, but then when you're eating it, it's like, oh, this is awesome.
And that's what you're seeing now. You're seeing that there was a big push for, let's deport everybody. But now that it's starting to happen, and it's like one of those things where it's like, well, yeah, we mean everybody, but, not the lady down the street, right? Not this person, not that person. We didn't mean we meant like all the bad people. And everybody starts, no, this is what it is. It's got to be this way. It doesn't. There is a smart way to do this, but this has all to do with politics as much as it does business as well. And so Batia Sagar, if you guys are listening, she is very much a huge Trump supporter. And I mean a huge Trump supporter. She was on with him, and she's like, nope, you're absolutely wrong. You're absolutely wrong. No. No way.
Oh, no, yeah. Eric, I'm sorry. You are so wrong about that. There have been 5 polls in the last 6 months asking Americans, should every single illegal alien be deported? And the numbers of support on these 5 polls ranged from 55% to 64%.
But Bacha, this is what the president would call bullshit. Because, they would say, should the law, basically, do you think the law should be adhered to? They'd agree. But then if you'd say, the lady who sews your buttons on, do you want her deported? She's here illegally. They'd say, well, no, she's valuable.
Mark,
that's why I think
the percentage of people employing those people is the percentage of people who are employing illegal migrants are accounted for in the 35% who oppose it. That's the elites. You think that regular people working class jobs in the heartland are employing illegal aliens?
Well, yeah, I think if they can't find workers. I think they'll take anybody. And let's be real, they're talking about the farm workers and people like that. The frustration of not being able to have a real conversation about not giving them citizenship, giving them temporary, putting it on the employer. And if you're going to get mad at me, this is Trump doing one of his, hey, you know what? Let's test this theory out. This is the day before the 4th of July.
The farmers, some of the farmers, many of you sitting right here, I have 4 friends right in the 5th row. But some of the farmers, they've had people working for them for years. And we're going to do something. We're working with Christie. And we're going to do something that we're going to sort of put the farmers in charge. And if a farmer's been with one of these people that work so hard, they bend over all day. We don't have too many people can do that. But they work very hard, and they know them very well. And some of the farmers are literally, they cry when they see this happen. If a farmer is willing to vouch for these people, in some way, Christy, I think we're going to have to just say that's going to be good, right? We're going to be good with it, because we don't want to do it where we take all of the workers off the farms. We want the farms to do great, like they're doing right now. So, Christy Noem has done a fantastic job, and Tom Homan.
You know what? We got to get rid of that guy. Who said the farmers and let's not forget the dishwashers and all the people that work at my hotels. And he wants to see what he can do. I don't think he wants to send everybody home, because I think he realizes the struggle it would be in certain areas. And I think he also realizes we could sit here and say it's only 2% of the population that work. Go look at the actual numbers and break it down. Very few Americans work in the farming industries. And the ones that do, you know what they're doing? They're not picking stuff. They're managers. They're supervisors. But they're not picking stuff. And they don't pay them a slave wage. Everybody thinks they work for free. They don't. And when you're Trump, you're also saying to yourself, if there is something, think about this for a second. Don't think about it as, well, we should do this. Think about it if you're him and there's any disruption whatsoever and prices go up, and that's traced back to what I want to do. And the majority of people, independent by way, the numbers, as she's talking about, these 5, well, that's several weeks old. Now the latest polls are, whoa, this feels like it's a little bit too much. This feels like this wasn't the worst first. And that's when I go back to, this is what happens when the big cities do the things they're doing. He doesn't want any disruption that's going to cause prices to go up and the marketplace to struggle, where that's going to come back. Even if everybody out there in the MAGA world want it, but the independents, stop thinking about it from you're from MAGA and I want this, or think about it from the voters who said, wait a minute here, I thought you were going to bring all these prices down, and now things are going up, and there's a disruption in certain areas. I don't like that. So obviously you didn't do what you said you're going to do. There's a lot to it. And he's also getting, like you said, he's got friends. He's got friends in the hotel industry. He's got big farming people who are saying, hey, I need workers. Well, we're going to send you guys a bunch of people on Medicaid and Medicare. We're going to send you that's not happening. We can't even, somebody just texted me because we can't even get people to come into a regular job in an office. Could you imagine a bunch of 20-somethings going to pick any kind of fruit that's not apple when you go to one of those places, or pumpkins with your boyfriend so you can get engaged? No, it's not. Well, they're going to show up at noon. One of them shows up at 2. No, that's not going to happen. And it's not the whole, it's all slave. It's not slave labor. It's crap job that nobody wants to do. Americans won't do, but that's because we told Americans that you can do anything you want, whenever you want, and you deserve X, Y, and Z. So there's a portion of him that he's testing it. He wants to see. But he's got other people in the administration who are putting him to a purity test. And they want no part of that. And so he's got to walk a fine line. Because I don't think he wants to get rid of all the farm workers. And I don't think he wants to get rid of the hospitality workers and the dishwashers. I don't think he wants any of that stuff if it's going to end up coming back and biting him in the butt and costing him the midterms. So it's a delicate balance. There's no doubt. It's a little bit more nuanced than just throw everybody out. Coming up, who knows what else? Superman comes out today. You going to go see it? I didn't think so. You want to know why? Because I've never seen movies anymore. I can't remember the last time I saw a movie. What was the last movie?
That's definitely something I'll wait for digital.
What's the last time you saw a movie?
Like at the theater?
Yeah.
The last one I saw in the theater was the new Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get your money back?
No, man, it was good. I liked it.
Was it?
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw a movie, Bill?
I think it was. I'd have to go all the way back to Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, that's. I can't even remember the last one. I saw Godzilla, the last Godzilla movie. I took my stepdaughter to see that.
Do you like it?
It was great. It was one of the Japanese ones. It was amazing. But that's
Did
the
he
last
eat Tokyo?
One. Yeah,
you gotta have him eat in Tokyo.
He destroys. I don't know what they did to him, but he's not happy, or she's not happy ever. Coming up, we'll talk about maybe a little bit of new Superman. Got some of your text messages as well. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
All right, got a crash blocking the right two lanes, 24 eastbound before Waldron Road in Laverne, and then downtown 40 westbound off-ramp to go westbound on the South Loop. That's going to be blocked off until at least 3 o'clock this afternoon. Still cleaning up a crash from earlier this morning. Still got a crash reportedly blocking the left lane, 65 northbound before Rosa Parks Boulevard. And here's another driving hazard in Middle Tennessee, mayflies. And it's their guts that really make it dangerous. I'll tell you why at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Mass deportations now, amnesty never. You have to get your country back.
And I can say this from firsthand experience, that people are pushing President Trump for amnesty. They are pushing him for mass legalization of illegals. If you want to break our coalition, go and push amnesty. That right there would be a complete collapse of everything that we have worked for. Everything.
Okay. So that's the purity test. Even Trump, you heard him when he was saying, well, we're thinking about doing this. There wasn't that big cheer because people put him they're going to hold him to, oh, what about this? Reality does things that are different. You show up somewhere and you find out, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and all of a sudden you realize, oh, well, I can't do that, that, and that. I'm not allowed to do that. And by the way, if I did this, this, and this, the effect it would have would be awful. But it sounded great on the campaign, and I'm not saying he shouldn't get rid of a lot of people that are here, especially people that have only been here for a few years, or people that have broken the law. Throw them out. Get them the hell out of here. Somebody's been here 15 years. Working, got a little business, and or doing some, and they've caused no other problems. You make them pay a fine. You give them a chance to stay here. They can't become a citizen, but they don't have to look over their shoulder every day, and they're paying taxes and a fine. And we go from there. It's common sense. First of all, we don't have the manpower capability. He would have to do 7,000 people a day just from now until the end of his term to get rid of what Biden allowed in here. On top of that, you still have another 12 or 15 million. So 14,000 a day. What's he doing? 1,000, if that? And no matter how much money, unless you devote every dollar you have, it's virtually impossible. So, or you're going to go after the businesses. And I don't think he's going to do that because that's something everybody's been saying for a very long time. I'll go after all the businesses. We'll do this, this, and this. Then do it. But if you don't, and then you say, well, just go after everybody else, it's the solution's there. Nobody has the political will or want to do it. And some people just don't want to do it because it's just good to talk about. No doubt. Hour number 3 of the program coming up straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.